Hey, Jason Phillips from Appraise. It's June 1st, 2016, doing a cold start video. 1935 Ford cab. Go ahead. Engine sounds good. Engine's good and cold, 79, 80 degrees. Just fired it up. Don't hear any unusual knocking. No abnormal ticking. Pulley and belt running smooth. We're going to back it up and put it outside. Next, we're going to go ahead and pull it up on the rack. First, decided to put it up on the hoist first before we move it outside to conduct the inspection. Just finished up an underbody inspection and some quick points. The backing plates and front suspension have all been comprehensively restored and repainted. I took a rag just to wipe down some of the grease so that you could see the condition potentially that could be on the backing plates, and then wipe the grease off there. So this apparent contamination here is just really just dirt and grease buildup from driving the car. Really no major issues, no major contamination. The suspension looks to be in pretty good shape throughout, all standard transverse leaf components, and it looks like some restoration work was done. The frame was repainted in a looks like a single stage semi-gloss black front to rear, and there's some treated hardware and some untreated hardware. This little spot here is where somebody just sanded down paint on the frame to get a good ground connection, and I think that's the same thing there. Let's move around to the center. The inner splashes of the running boards are in good shape, just some typical stone splash and contamination, but good solid steel and in good shape. And we've got mostly a combination of some treated and untreated bolts and hardware. Some of those untreated bolts that are showing some surface rust could be spun off there and wire brushed and clear coated and cleaned up. No real rust along the flanges of the running boards, which is nice. No issues of rust seen there. Steel supports on the running boards are in good shape. You can see that there's a newer cork gasket applied up in here between the frame and the cowling, and that's the only spot that I can see it at this point. Doing a pre-purchase inspection video style. Jason Phillips from Appraise. Client ordered this long distance who wanted to get an up-close look at the vehicle, and that's what we're giving them. Coming around the back end of the car, you can see they replaced the gas tank in the back. Looks like it's an aluminum tank, and the frame is in very good shape. You can see it all frame off, of course. All the steel supports inside the fenders were painted. Inside of the body was painted kind of a duller single stage, but all the panels were painted, and no issues of rust or decay really seen throughout the underbody. I took the liberty of placing some business card magnets you can see up along the floor pans, and nice solid steel structure. Really nothing down here to complain about, nothing to worry about. Rear end was obviously pulled from the car and restored, repainted at the very least. All the hardware looks to be in good shape. The backing plates I did not wipe down, but you don't see any active leaks. No real issues back there. Actually a 35. I gotta look back and see if I think we got mechanical brakes on a 35. Don't do enough of these to remember, actually, so we would expect those backing plates to look nice and dry in that case, wouldn't we? But either way, underbody is in very clean shape. The exhaust is in nice shape. Chrome shield is in decent shape with a little bit of heat burn off on the edge. You can see this tailpipe has been repainted, muffler has been repainted, but overall pretty nice. I went through and put magnets around the body to determine for the potential buyer, Russ, that we got steel fenders, steel doors, steel body. Some of my magnets here in areas you don't see, we do have magnetic adhesion, but the magnet will slip in certain areas and fall down, such as this. It does stick though. What that does is generally indicate somewhere between 15 and 20 plus mils of paint. Digital meter confirms 29 mil thickness there on the dog leg of the fender. Some filler has been used in this area to rework the fender. Nothing too uncommon. And we do have some magnetic adhesion in there. So same principle applies. We'll go around, do still photos of the magnets on the vehicle, but generally speaking, the car has significant magnetic adhesion with a little bit of filler on the down lows to smooth out some of the lower areas that were likely worked and blocked and worked and blocked. Quick glance at the underside, other side rather, Russ, and we see the same scenario from a magnetic adhesion standpoint. Russ, you were wondering about the antenna. There's no antenna under the running board, but what we got here is a lead that goes back to the 6-volt battery. It's an Optima battery there, not sized specifically for that box, but it seems to be working. And we've got a little lead on the end here to plug in, I would assume, a trickle charger. That's what that is. There's no antennas or anything like that mounted under the running boards. So that's it for the underbody, frame, suspension, floors. A little bit better look. There's a rule here against specifically going under the hoist with my body, so I have to take this look the best way I can this way. I watched the mechanic pull this up on the hoist, and nobody's went under here and done anything, so to my knowledge nothing's really been recently wiped down or cleaned up. And down below on the hoist, we've been sitting here for a good half hour. Nothing really leaking out on the floor. There were some spots there, and I'm pretty sure those were there previously from whatever vehicle was here, because it doesn't look like anything's coming out of this car, though there may be. Wheels and tires, looks like we got Ford reproduction painted steel wheels with replacement caps and rings. These are in pretty good shape. They got a little bit of general wear, but they could clean up a little nicer than what they are currently showing. No heavy pits or rust on the caps, and nor on the rings. No major chips on the wheels, just a few small chips. I would give the wheels a good BB minus. Older Firestone tube type 8 by strike that 8 by 16 inch wide whites. Tire tread depth is excellent. I don't really see any dry cracking going on any of the tires. Take a closer look. This rear left tire has a little cut / scuff in the sidewall, but it's not deep. Doesn't appear to be in any differing shape than the front. Back here on the right rear, we have a few little nicks in the steel of the wheels. These wheels could actually be original wheels that were repainted, refinished. I'm getting the feeling that maybe they are. And again, the caps and rings are in nice shape. No sidewall damage to the tire back here. Same sufficient amount of tread. Rust, nothing different to report on the right front. We'll catch the back sides of the bumpers right now while the car is up. And these look like reproduction bumpers. Hardware was taken apart and brackets repainted in semi-gloss black. These bumpers could stand to be polished up. I don't know if I think a good scrubbing and coat of wax on those would bring those back to life. They're in B- or C+ condition currently. I'll hit a spot when we get the car outside, but it looks like these will clean up some. A little better than what they are right now. No dings or significant bends, nothing unusual. The guards look like they're in good shape. Hardware good on both left and right. And along the rear here, we've got virtually the identical scenario. A little bit of stage 1 patina coming through on this bumper. It's not really pitting, you can't feel it, but you can see it. And some of that might clean up. It might clean up. It's an unknown till it gets done, but they're in pretty solid shape. Looks like all reproduction trim on the car. Let's get her down. Just went around the outside of the car. That's about all the magnets I own, but the magnetic adhesion is sufficient. You notice they didn't use a lot of filler to block out to get these lines straight, and the lines are nice and straight. They're at least period straight, if not better. That door overlaps just slightly the quarter panel, but that's not unusual to see on a 35. And again, they didn't block out a lot of filler to get those to line up. You can see the magnets are falling. A little bit of wind out here, and the magnets have a bend to them, so but they're adhering to the body panels in most areas. I didn't place magnets all along the left side, but I did do what we call a flop test, and we slap along here, and we do have adhesion. We have some filler definitely to flatten this fender up through this area. Not a lot of stickage right up along the top of the radius, but we're doing good here. And we've got adhesion all along the quarter of the vehicle. Same thing on the door. Cowl nice and rigid. Hood the same. Again, a little bit of lack of adhesion. We showed all this in the interior magnetic results. The paint reflects pretty nice. It was sanded pretty flat. The bold print in my shirt you are looking at from about 18 to 24 inches away. Try to give you a better look at that. Maybe we'll go on the shady side. Before we do that, there's been some touch-ups along the door edge here and here. Small essence of a tape line visible there at the seam. Still photos will pick that up. Back by the fuel tank access, there's a little bit of staining right here on the paint under the taillight. That may clean up some. That's wax. There's a little crack up high here behind the rumble seat. Up on the front fender, there's a few small marks here, 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 here. A couple little stains maybe in the paint. Not positive if those, yeah, they will clean up. The car could stand a really good detailing. Little nick right here on the edge of the fender. That does not look like it's going to come off. A little scratch right there. A little bit of chippage on top of the headlight. A little bit of chippage there on the side of the left side hood. Other than that, on the left side, we're looking pretty good. Trim was probably all replaced at the same time. A little bit of light patina that probably could clean up off the fogs. Horn and headlight hardware is in pretty nice shape. Hood, the hood chrome was replaced. We've got thin bands of chrome / plastic chrome there on the grill, and then painted inserts. A hood nick, little mark right there. Down along the left side of this 35 Ford, the reflective quality is a little easier to pick up on without the sun beating right down on us. You can see the reflection of the wheel in the car that is probably 45 to 50 inches away from this vehicle. And up close, bold print can be read. I'm looking at that. I'm standing 2.5 feet away from the vehicle, and that's what you see. So the reflection of the paint for a light color, a medium light color, is real nice. Working my way down this side of the car, the car could stand to have been cleaned up and just detailed a little better. I've been able to scrape off some small dead bugs and a variety of little contaminations. I think this will clean up. Up here on the front fender, a few little marks, but not a lot of major stone chippage or anything like that. And I think these will, I think it's dead bug guts, and I think it'll clean up. Doors open, close, and latch very nicely. No slamming required. Don't feel any sag per se. A little bit of patina on the door handles. Not heavy pitting. Little burn through on the edge of the door paint. A little contamination here that'll probably clean up. And there's a few spots down low that I licked and did some cleanup work today. Nothing else to report. Door jambs are in good shape. There's a remounted Kansas VIN sticker. A plate actually made for the door jamb, which isn't correct for this vehicle, but it's there, easy to find. Door skins are in nice shape. Panels recovered to match the seats, done nicely. Hardware inside's decent, but does have some black pitting that you can feel. I'd call that stage 2. Interior shows very little wear, nothing really to complain about. One small mark there on the side frame of the seat, but the cushions have been recovered, and upper and lower are both in real nice shape. Rubber floor was changed. There's a little crack in the mat coming from age, but kick panels and firewall insulation pad changed. Some updating done underneath the dash with regards to wiring. Steering wheel doesn't appear cracked, probably refinished. A little bit of age showing on the original knobs for the dash, and a little bit of age showing in the gauge faces. Nothing horrible. We'll fire the car up in a minute and check all that out. Headliner of the convertible top is in good shape. The pads have tears in them right there over the hardware on both sides, but I didn't see any other issues to report. Chrome's in nice shape, could be polished up. Glass rear window, of course. A few marks. This door panel is showing a little bit of footwear passing in and out of the entrance point. And there's our assigned Illinois VIN. I think I said Iowa earlier, but there it is. A little bit of chippage where a door contact's being made. The outside of the convertible top leaves a bit to be desired, probably showing the most age of any component of the car. Looks like it might have been beat by a hailstorm or some weather or something. Ugly as a mud fence on a rainy day, as my pops would have said in the day. But it's a top-down car, so not going to see that much while we're driving it. There is a bit of a crack in the top of the door paint here and here, a little scuff on top that I didn't notice earlier. Firewall was all repainted with the body and new seal cording put in. Engine oil is full, looks clean. I just dripped a little on the exhaust manifold. I expect that's going to smoke a bit when we fire it up and drive it around the parking lot. 6050B, 686050B. There's some stains on the intake, but it doesn't really look like the carburetor is leaking a bunch. It looks a little bit damp right here. I smell a little gas. But the engine has the appearance of being rebuilt. Hoses and hardware clamps were all changed. Engine sounded really good when it was started up cold. A little bit of a rich burn, nothing abnormal. Body number is mounted on a reproduction tag on the other side. A little bit of chippage going on inside the grille to hood opening. A little bit of chippage, of course, here where the hood sits down. I didn't do that. Down to the primer, right in that spot. Antifreeze is full and green. Does not appear contaminated, Russ. A little bit of seepage slash grease buildup around the steering box. Common to the oil in the steering box, the fluid gets hard and heated up from being so close to the exhaust manifold, and then seals start leaking. Not an unusual situation. I'm not getting the hood to latch down successfully up front. May require some assistance or some adjustment of that catch. Handle is moving like it should. Other side of the engine bay, nothing notoriously ill, and nothing really to report. Condition mimics the left side. 48 is a printed stamp on that, no number stamped on the tag. As you would expect, we have some chipping in the same locations, a little bit of wear on these rubber divider bushings. Chip down here where the latch is in fact working correctly. Chip up here down to the primer where the hood's moved back and forth. And a small chip inside the hood opening for the handle. A little bit of paint peel up here where the hoods for the right side of the hood hinges. Chrome I didn't mention, the rest of the way around the car was all changed. Door handles, like I said, a little bit of stage 1 patina. Mirror, taillight lenses, fogs, horn. Chrome's in pretty good shape. It really needs a really thorough, healthy detailing. Got a few chips on the back side of the bumper hardware. About 6 actually. Right rear is looking better. No complaints after reviewing the rumble seat area. Cushions and sidewall trim all done very nicely. No cuts, stains, tears, etc. A little bit of a rough finish inside the gully, and a few contact chips where the thing moves around and flexes. Has a new seal chip, but nothing abnormal to report inside. Finally, the spare tire appears to be matching to the set. Small chip in this tire cover, and a couple small nicks here where the band goes around. Else it's in good shape. Here comes a door slam. You can call it a slam, but closes nicely. We're going to take it for a little cruise around the parking lot, and maybe even convince him to go down the street in it, let it run, watch the gauges. We're going to do that on a second video. This one's getting kind of long.